That is Corey Marks, Blame It on the Double, a country artist who likes to mix it up with a bit of rock. And we'll share all of the artists that we play on the show tonight on our socials later tonight or tomorrow at some stage. So stay tuned and you can find out who these artists are that we're playing. Some bands we're playing that don't get the airplay they deserve. Other bands you'll probably recognise. We've got Incubus coming up, Stone Temple Pilots, and a few bands that you wouldn't have heard of. And our band record of the week is from the Lathams, which is coming up in the second hour of the show. But anyway, straight into our second guest tonight. It's a busy studio. People arriving, going. So we've pushed Mark to one side for now, and we've got Tash Stephens in the studio from Crawley Wasps, flying winger. We understand, Tash.
I try my best to be a flyer winger. Yeah.
Welcome to the studio. It's great to have another Wasp in the studio. We spoke to your Captain Cole earlier in the season, which was good. But let's start off with the season so far. So you're flying at the top of the table. We were just talking off air, 6 points ahead of Watford, but they got 2 games in hand and slightly better goal difference. How's it feeling at the moment?
Obviously, we've got to be confident of how we're doing. We're playing good football. We're enjoying the way we're playing, and being top of the league, you can't really argue. At the start of the season, if you said that February would be top of the league, I think we would have bit your hand off. So I think we've just got to take one game at a time right now and think about Watford later on in the season.
Spoken like a true professional there.
That was a very professional answer, and I'm sure we'll get loosened up as the show goes on.
But when you said there's something in that, because a lot of good sides have to be kind of act professional, and I'm sure the management at Crawley Wasps are pretty similar in that they drill that into you, don't they? That kind of thing, that kind of thinking.
Yeah, definitely, and we've got girls who have played at a higher level than what we're playing at now. We've got girls that have won leagues. I've been in this league for quite a while now, so I think everyone's quite aware of what it takes to win the league. It's a really hard league to win. It's not easy at all, and we're all pretty aware that looking too far ahead or setting unrealistic goals just really won't help us in the long term. So just focusing on what we can control and what we can do in the upcoming weeks.
So you signed for Crawley in the summer, is that correct? And so obviously, I mean, the Wasps had such an amazing campaign last time round. They went unbeaten and had a big FA Cup run and ended up playing Arsenal and everything like that. So what was it like joining that dressing room, and was it very much we've got to keep this momentum going? How was that joining?
Well, they actually on that FA Cup run they knocked me out of the FA Cup. There was a bit of stick when I first joined. Right. I'm not gonna lie, but it's a team that's full of winners and it's full of people that want to win. But I think I was actually talking about it last night with a couple of the girls. There's no egos, and I think that's really important to the team. And I think we're quite realistic. The league is hard, and jumping into that league, and they've had 2 promotions on the bounce. No one really expected to be like, right, our number one aim is winning the league. But you don't enter a league to lose, do you?
No, exactly.
Let's be real. And it was all very much being like, right, let's just play how we want to play. Let's play our football. And I think when we first dropped points and we first lost some points, that was kind of our biggest test. And the thing was, it wasn't no finger pointing, there was no blaming. It was like, right, we're better than this, we are allowed to lose, we can drop points, but let's get on and get our momentum back, and that's what we've done, hopefully.
Going back to your point on egos, you're saying there's no big egos at the club. Can that still be a problem at this level of the game? I mean, no disrespect to, but we see egos in the top level Premier League and going down, even in women's Premier League, can be an issue. But can that be the same all the way down?
I think so, because I don't think you can be egotistical in women's football. You see some teams like Pompey, they've barely played since September at home, I don't think. And we don't always have the interest that we think that sometimes there should be. Some people, it takes a lot to get people to come to a game. And I think it harms us more to be egotistical from the outside point of view. So it's important for us for that. But then as a teammate, as a player, you want to be able to trust your teammates, and if there's someone you can't trust, I've played in the past with people that probably had a bigger ego than they probably should have, or it disrupted the team, and it really does make a difference, I think, because you don't know if you can trust this player, you don't know if you can trust that person, but stepping into the Crawley team, you knew every single person had your back, and I think that's really important.
Cool. So how are you settling into Crawley? Have you moved? Did you have to move to the local area?
Yeah, I've actually moved to East Grinstead, so
I used
to live down in Portsmouth.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it was a big move. I was commuting quite a lot for work, so I moved in, I settled in, and it was so easy to settle. I've never settled in a team like I've settled in Crawley. and it just shows how Crawley have kind of settled in the league. It's how it is, like in the squad. You can just turn up to training, you're joining with the girls straight away. And I think it's really why they're doing so well. To be honest.
Yeah, definitely. So the season's going well so far. You had a good win on Sunday.
Yeah, we played
against Hounslow. Yeah,
5-0.
5-0.
Yeah, 5-0.
5-0.
Yeah.
You said that so like, oh, yeah, I think it was 5. It could have
doubting
been.
myself. Yeah,
I could have wound Tash up there and just said any score I've written down here.
Okay,
But yeah, it's 5-0. It's 5.
It sounds about right.
How did that go? Was it as easy as it sounds? Not being too, but that sounds like a big win.
Yeah, it was a good win. I think Hounslow are struggling. They've had quite a lot of changes with management of players, but they are a really strong team. They've got talented players, and we didn't want it to be a banana skin. We spoke about obviously our goal difference isn't as good as Watford, and it would have been easy to be like, right, let's turn up, let's smash 10 past them, blah 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 blah. But that's not how we wanted to approach the game. We wanted to approach it properly. We want to play football that we want to play, that we want to play against the bigger teams in this league. And more than anything, we're like, if we get the 3 points, it doesn't matter how many goals we score, the goals will come. And we had quite a lot of possession, but you can't switch off. They had some breaks away, and keeping the clean sheet's really important to us. As soon as we get 1-0 up, and we got 1-0 up quite early, we're like, right, if we got a clean sheet, we've won the game. And if we win it 1-0 or 20-0, it doesn't matter at this stage of the season, I don't think.
How have you found the pitch down at East Grinstead? Because we got a good the guys at East Grinstead are pretty good to us. We chat to them a lot, and we have the guys come in here. But obviously, this season there've been a lot of games for Crawley Wasps down at East Grinstead, and it's easy for us because it's just across there, so it's really easy. But have you found it down there?
I love it 'cause it's 3 minutes from my house.
Brilliant, brilliant.
I love it. No, it's nice actually. Some of the girls that we played before, because it's got the colours of the Crawley Wasps around it. They're like, did they paint this for you? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. No, we love it. It's become a bit of almost a fortress. We've done really well there. We haven't been dropping many points. Haven't dropped any points in 2020, and so long may that continue. And if we're not conceding, I'm not losing them.
It's good that someone's having some joy at that stadium.
This is true.
We said that
this is true.
That the better. I mean, so obviously you guys have located at East Court this season. It was Tinsley Lane last season. So you're geographically out of Crawley now. Who do you have a closer affinity? Obviously, you now live in East Grinstead, but has I guess a hard question to ask, but are you connected more with the East Grinstead now? Are we gonna have to, twin the teams?
That's a really good question, to be fair. I think it's still quite closely connected to Crawley. We train in Crawley outside the men's stadium, and we've got quite a lot of Crawley girls who are proud to be Crawley girls. And I don't think they'll let us lose that identity a bit too much. And we just want to play, and a couple of us live in East Grinstead, so that's easy for us, and we're more than happy. And we moan about how long it takes us to get to every match and but I don't think it's necessarily made us think that we're not a Crawley team anymore. Which it could have done, I suppose. Yeah.
And obviously, how long have you been playing now professionally?
Semi-pro.
Yeah, or semi-pro. Sorry.
I've been playing since for about 15. I've been playing since I was 15 years, but I only started playing at this league probably about 5 years ago. Yeah. 4 years ago.
So obviously, in that time, you've seen a massive change in the women's game over that time, and we love talking about it on the show now, just seeing how. I mean, I've been following women's football for over 10 years now, and I've seen. We used to watch Birmingham City ladies quite a lot, and then now just seeing the pitches that they were playing on back then and the standard of football all the way up to the recent Women's World Cup, and then watching the top league sides play in big stadiums, and this huge revitalised interest in the game, in the women's game. And I think whilst we're not completely there, the kind of perhaps any prejudice that was against the game has kind of gone, especially after what we saw in the World Cup with the Lionesses and everything. I mean, it must be a great time to be in the sport right now.
Yeah, I think it's a really exciting time because everything's changing, and it's changing so quickly. Of course, there's always a bit of negativity and whatever, but I think it's probably the best time to ever be involved in women's football, and especially the generation below us, the opportunities they get in. We played against Brighton development squad a couple of weeks ago in the cup actually, and like they were really young and really fast and really fit, and we were like, oh, like, really we had these opportunities and we're this age, and of course we're jealous of the opportunities that the younger generation are getting, but we're actually like really proud as well, because like they're going to be so good. There's like some kids out there who I've coached kids before that are like 12, and I can't take the ball off them, and it's a really exciting time, and to be able to say that we played in that time and watch the growth, and we watched the Women's Super League form, and we watched the Lionesses grow from someone that no one really cared about, even female footballers probably didn't care at one point, to massive sellout crowds at Wembley. I think it's really special to be a part of.
I mean, I've lived in Crawley most of my life and followed Crawley Town as an avid fan, but what I've noticed now is definitely in the last 3 years or so is the visibility of the Crawley Wasps now, in the marketing and the different channels that are being targeted. I know like Gatwick Airport has been pushing it a lot, and us as a station, and you see it more, and famously they're back on Metro buses now in Crawley. We spoke a bit off air. You didn't quite make the cut for the buses. You joined a bit too late. But, how's that gone down with the squad? If you're tuning in and no idea what I'm talking about, the Crawley ladies now feature on the back of certain buses going around the routes of Crawley, which is always nice to see. It's just so exciting seeing this massive mainstream appeal of women's football in the local area. But how's that gone down in the dressing room? Do they get stick for that as the buses go past?
I'm quite disappointed. I haven't bumped into one yet.
Have you not?
No, I haven't. I know Meg loves it. She's on the back of one of the buses.
Right.
We've given her a bit of stick that she looks like the back end of a bus. No, she loves it. I think she had a little photo shoot with her photo on the back of the bus on the day. But I think things like that, it's just really innovative. I haven't seen other clubs do that, and it's a massive testament to the volunteers around the back of the club, like James, Lydia, even Paul. They're all doing so much to try and actually generate that interest and do something else. And I mean, if you told me that if I signed for Crawley Wasps, I'd be on the back of the bus, I would have signed straight away. Like, there, signing 5 years ago, whatever.
One of the best things I saw is actually is obviously a girl that plays for one of the youth teams, one of the younger sides at Crawley Wasps, and she's obviously been in the car on the way home from training in the Crawley Wasps kit. Obviously got her parents in the bus, got her parents to stop the car to have a picture taken from behind this bus while it's at the bus stop. And she's standing there going like this. I think that's fantastic. I think that's a really nice picture and kind of sums up the whole feeling around the club, I think.
Yeah, definitely, because I think the youth groups are really important to us, and the girls coming onto our matches a lot, they're mascots to us a lot. Some of the first team coach a lot of the youth groups, and it really is like if you're not inspiring the next generation, there's not much point us doing what we're doing, and there's not much point trying to win leagues. There's not much point in the amount of commitment that we put into it, and like the smiles that the kids have, and they look up, like especially to like Nay, our captain, like they literally adore her. I think that's the one they took the picture with actually. I know her bus has been stalked a couple of times by me quite a lot. And it's really important, and I think kind of the family ethos, and a lot of clubs state that they have it, but I don't think as many clubs have it as Crawley do, and I think that's really special.
You notice that on social media particularly, is that it's not just the first team that they talk about, and a lot of other clubs you notice that it is generally just the first team that get the promotion side of it. But I know Crawley Wasps, it's noticeable that they promote all of the games, all of the ages, talk about all of the football throughout the club, which is great to see.
No,
really good.
I think some of the Twitter accounts just give their reserve team an honourable mention every now and then, but the fact that they're sharing girls of their goals, like absolute bangers. I'm like, oh no, my position's going soon. But I think it's really special that that is really promoted, and we want every team to do well. It doesn't matter if they're 10, it doesn't matter if they're adults.
Yeah, it's all very positive. It's really, really good to see. Thank you for coming into the studio. We can't let you go without talking quickly about Manchester United. You mentioned you're a Man U fan.
Oh no,
we talk about all sports on here, particularly football mostly. But your thoughts on the season so far?
I just gave a no comment there. It's been an up and down season. Got to get it out of the way, I think, and then move somewhere in May so you don't see Liverpool win the league and go again next season.
I think a lot of us are feeling that one.
A lot of us are feeling. What is it about Liverpool being so unlikable?
I don't know.
Can't stand them.
Yeah. Manchester United, of course, have finally got a women's team now.
Yeah.
You know, how does that feel as a United fan yourself? But yet and it's such a big club, but they weren't really making the waves in the women's game, which always was quite baffling, really. But I mean, here they are now in the Premier Division now. It's exciting times. Do you follow them?
Yeah, probably don't follow them as much as I'd like to. It's hard because they kind of play the same days, the same time.
Yeah.
So it's really hard. And in fairness, I think that's where they probably miss a trick, is putting at the exact same time as, like, we'd go and watch the higher leagues. So we've got friends that play in the higher leagues, and attendances would be a lot higher, I think, if we could play there. But as for Man United, the thing that sticks out to me is growing up, always a Man United fan. My dad and my brother are Arsenal fans, and to me, the realistic ultimate dream would always have been playing for Arsenal, because they were the it team at the time. I think they won the quadruple when I was a little younger, and there was no realistic dream. I've been able to play for Man United, and now there's all these, there's millions of kids worldwide that can kind of dream of that. And I think they got there a little bit late to the party, but they're doing really well. They're playing the right way. They've got Casey Stoney in, who's like an absolutely incredible role model, I think. And so hopefully, better late than never, they'll start doing something. Even
though you're a fan of United, there was a lot of consternation about them joining the league where they did, because obviously clubs like Crawley Wasps have worked their way up, and other clubs as well. Any views on that particularly, as putting your United hat to one side?
Yeah, I think it's tough. It is tough. Like, they made the top division completely pro. Yeah. So I know, like, Yeovil, who were playing on Sunday, they really struggled with it. They did really well. I'm from the southwest, so I've seen their struggles from the bottom up. Because
they were in the top division, weren't they?
And they completely worked their way up. They got to the Super League through their own merit, and then they got demoted last season into our league just because of money and financial. Yeah. And I see the argument from the FA's point of view that if you can't sustain a professional team, you shouldn't be in a professional league. And I understand that, but I think there probably needs to be a way for teams who haven't got a massive men's club with financial backing, or even a team that does have a men's club that might not just buy into their female team, because it does happen. Like, Liverpool men, top of the league, the women are bottom of the league. It's a massive contrast. Yeah. And I think there needs to be a way to try and make that more sustainable. And I suppose the FA are probably thinking that, let's get these teams that can afford it, the teams that have got the model right there, and so we don't have people just pulling out left, right, centre. Because a couple of years ago, a team pulled out the night before the start of the season because they couldn't financially do it. Yeah. I think to try and stop the disruption, they've done that, but it's upset and probably hurt a lot of people by doing that. Yeah, definitely. Which is quite harsh. Yeah.
Well, the best way listeners at home can support the teams is getting to the games. So you've got a game coming up this Sunday, the 9th of February, hosting Yeovil Town, who you've obviously just mentioned. So get yourself down to there. It's at East Court. And then you play Chichester City at home on the 19th as well. So, good luck with those. And we wish you all the best for the season. It's been great, watching your success over the past couple of seasons, and long may it continue. And who knows, maybe we'll be playing against United soon, and
that'd be nice.
Doing one better than the men's team did a few years ago and actually knocked them out of the cup.
Great. So. Tash, thank you for joining us. Come back to the studio before the end of the season. Come and have a chat with us and let us know how it's going, because hopefully, fingers crossed, successful season, and we'll be able to talk about that towards the end of the season. So good luck for this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see you at East Court. Cheers.
Meridian FM.